This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort Casino. Fun 3-hour program lined up today in 30 minutes. Great numbers on the NBA Finals and the NHL Stanley Cup Final. Evan Abrams is going to join the program. In 90 minutes, we're going to go hardcore NHL. Best Bets Game 2, VSiN NHL betting analyst Jonathan Davis on the program. And in the final hour of the program, more hockey and the Belmont as well. Eddie Olczyk is going to join the show. What does he think about tonight's game? And he has nailed the first two legs of the Triple Crown in horse racing. Can't wait to see how he's going to break down the Belmont at that time. Wemby lost the tip last night, and people were laying, I don't blame them, people were laying 1,000.
Yep.
He had never lost a tip to Cat.
Yep. I knew I was done when I saw that. Well, he's never lost a tip, and if you found $100 on the sidewalk, would you pick it up and all that? Looked like shenanigans from Foster with a poor tip, but that's so there's a plus 450 to start your day right off the bat, right?
Well, and then the Brunson 3-bang.
That's right, 35-1 to start with the method of the first basket. So yeah, incredible that he loses the tip. I guess that was foreshadowing what kind of night it was going to be.
That's exactly what I kind of thought when it was all said and done. And there was also this, going into the game, we talked about this a lot. The trend of a Game 7, a team coming off of a Game 7 victory against a team coming off of a sweep, 3-15 straight up now, 4-14 ATS. How do you like that? And all that celebrating for the San Antonio Spurs, very emotional after Game 7 against Oklahoma City. Wemby yesterday, 2 days ago actually, saying that very difficult to come down from this. Also, Brunson gets hurt right away. Yeah. The Spurs have a 14-point lead in the third quarter, and they lost the game. And that was just a total game of runs in the fourth quarter before the Knicks put them away.
I saw a plus 850 in play.
Yep.
Could have been higher. You're right. Everyone's freaking out. Is the series over already? It didn't look good when he got hurt twice. And then to be down 14 in the third quarter, and then you're still the Spurs led with 2 minutes left. Mm. And then they close them out with the big run and how Brunson plays. So I think we have to start here that Wemby looks fatigued and worn out. And here's what I can back it up. Number one, he couldn't go past Towns at all. And he was settling for threes and took 9 of them. The other one is a 7-4 guy is not cleaning the glass like he should. Mm-hmm. Now, I know the first game against the Thunder went double overtime, but you shouldn't go from, and that goes back to maybe bet the no on the double-double. I mean, there have been several games where he can't even get 10 rebounds. So between all these games, and he's asking to do, he's doing so much on both ends, between settling, not being able to go by Towns, and not being able to grab rebounds, he could be running out of gas.
Well, and so one of my very first observations from early on in the game last night was he is not facing Chet Holmgren in this series because there was something there, obviously, where Chet is intimidated by Wemby, and Wemby made it a point to rub it in his face the entire 7 games. We're talking about Karl Anthony Towns, who is a much bigger, thicker body. OG Anunoby, same thing. Like, the Knicks can throw bigger-bodied guys at him, specifically Cat, and Cat bullied him on offense and on defense, like, right away to begin the game. Those drives by Cat that blew right by Wemby, I'm like, oh, boy.
Yep.
If that was the Cat that Minnesota would have had the entire time, who knows what their ceiling could have been. But that dude looked awesome. He talked about it last night after the game as well, how he felt his mom's presence there, and he felt like he was back like playing AAU basketball on Saturday and Sunday mornings when he was a kid and had so much joy out there playing for the game. They have no pressure then. But to your point, it was 94-86 fourth quarter, New York. The Spurs hit him with a run. They go up 95-94, and then that was all New York after that.
Yep.
And just how does it play out from here, Paulie? Because the Knicks, if this was a hustle contest or leaving, throw some cliches out here, like leaving your guts out on the floor, ain't nobody going to beat the Knicks at that. So it's going to be Hart diving into the third row, Bridges going every single player on this team, like they know what this is going to do if they can bring a title home to New York. Meanwhile, yes, it would be great for the Spurs to win one as well. They're 22 years old.
Yep.
Like they can have it like, oh, we're going to be back here 15 different times.
I think Brunson's one of the most mentally tough athletes I've ever seen. And how he wasn't efficient. He took 31 shots.
No, he was not.
But he'll believe the next one's going in, and he is so tough. And getting at John with Scott Foster the whole game, felt they didn't get a good whistle. The Knicks felt they didn't get a good whistle, especially in the first half. But to knock down all those shots and the degree of difficulty and what he was able to do through the injuries, he's a warrior, no doubt about it. But we all can have bad nights and bad games. And certainly the Spurs had a bad. I think Johnson was terrible. Where's Keldon Johnson?
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden is Harrison Barnes getting playing time? Where is Harper, who had the most points on the team through 3 quarters? Fox is killing you. Fox is either good or he's awful. But for Fox to have as many turnovers as made baskets is a big problem. But why Harper only got 3 minutes in the fourth quarter is beyond me. And maybe so it's the injury with Fox as well. But again, this guy looks anything but a max player. And how he's performed in some of these games. So he killed them too, and I can't believe how many minutes he got in the fourth quarter. And the other thing, and I don't know if you saw it, but Jeremy Lin was fantastic on the postgame with Van Pelt. And he called out Johnson and also saying, it's a fair criticism, where's the creativity? Where are the pin downs? Where are the dump downs? Why can't we get Wemby set up on the block? Why can't we get more creativity in getting the ball to Wemby? Why is it so difficult to get him set up or to find his spot where he's comfortable while you're drawing up your offense?
I know. Tom Habistro earlier today, very good on the NBA, Yahoo Sports tweeted out like shot charts. And he said one guy is 7'5", the other one is 6'2". And Wemby was all outside and Brunson was all in the paint.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense. So,
well, the Knicks have incredible spacing, though.
Yeah, they do.
And you can't, when Cat can guard him one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
That's big. Makes it a lot easier for the defense.
Yeah, to your point on Harper, I mean, clearly, Dylan Harper was the best player for San Antonio last night. And I would say until Brunson took over in the fourth quarter, I thought Harper was the best player in the entire game. Then in the fourth quarter, De'Aaron Fox played 11 minutes, folks. 0 points, 0 assists. Now, guys were missing shots that he was setting up. 2 turnovers, 0 of 2 from the field. Harper, who led the Spurs in scoring through 3 quarters, as you said, played 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I don't get it. No. I mean, you can tell just by watching the game last night. Now, you're right. Fox can be great, or he can be like last night and be really, really bad. If you're just like reading the room, Fox has to be on the bench. And Harper clearly was the one guy making plays from the jump. Where was he? As a rookie, he was their most reliable player last night. Castle missing open shots. I would say that Champagnie in the first half, that's one dude who would never want that first half to end, obviously. He was great in the first half. Second half kind of flipped things there.
Well, Barkley was right, though. Why is he wide open? You just get out on him. You can't leave him wide open, and they made the adjustments in the second half. He's wide open. It's too easy.
It was.
And that stopped. Free throws in the first half, 12-3. Mike Brown got a tough whistle. The injuries with Brunson early on. Silly turnovers, easy transition baskets for San Antonio as well. Brunson 5 of 15, yet Spurs only up 7. But then they added to the lead, and then all hell breaks loose down the stretch in the fourth quarter. So I'm here for anything now. I know it'll be a fun discussion once we get to it later in the show, but I've won 12 games in a row. 11 by double digits. I'm 11-1 ATS. I'm a 6-point dog.
Yeah, the first number I saw last night immediately was 3.5.
Wow.
How long did that last? 8 seconds?
Yeah.
Before it shot up. Now, the Spurs, people are going to obviously like them. The numbers already moved. They have been absolutely extraordinary off of a loss, specifically in the playoffs, but it goes back throughout most of the year, all the way to like January. And what about in the first quarter? Home favorites who lost game 1, then favored in game 2 since 2021, 19-3-1 in the first quarter. Spurs, money line in the first quarter since losing game 1 to the Wolves in round 2, 9-2-2 overall. Do we get just that after, and they won the first quarter last night. Brunson did go down in that game, but there's also this. Well, we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show. The points don't matter in the NBA Finals. That's now 63-3-3 ATS over the last 11 seasons, outright winner. Didn't need the points last night.
I'm seeing a lot of this. It's men against boys. That might be true. They're so big. They're so the length. They didn't have to put OG on Wemby, and your three best players are 22, 21, and 20 years old.
Right.
And the experience matters. There's a lot of that. The
So
other thing I was going to say, Josh Hart had the best game in NBA history for a guy who only made one shot. That has never happened before in a finals game. He led in rebounds, assists, and steals. And the only other player to have 15 boards, that many steals, and that many assists was Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And he was in foul trouble. So what an impact on the game he had in the second half.
So we will ask you the opinion that you have right now on the series overall. New York can be had right now as low as minus 125 if you shop around to win the series. Paulie, you tweeted this out before the show. A lot of eyeballs on that tweet. A lot of reaction to it as well. What do you make of that number? Other places are as high as minus 140. But the Knicks to win the series right now after one game. What do you think of that number overall? And we'll ask the audience as well. Do you wait? Do you actually, if you like the Knicks, do you wait until after game two thinking the Spurs are going to take game two?
I think you have to throw out everything that you've watched and you think in sports about, well, they're going to win Friday, so you're going to get a better number. I'm not sure about that.
They should have won the game last night.
Because they I mean, just what this Knicks team is doing and how they're winning every game, and it's every game by double digits. It's the best 12-game stretch in history.
It is.
You can't debate
Numbers
that.
don't lie.
No, it's true.
So I've made several bets. We'll expand on that coming up throughout the show. And up next, also, Game 2 Stanley Cup Final. Mitch Marner is in historical territory when only Wayne Gretzky has him beat. I will tell you the outstanding stat next here on VSiN.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hey everybody, Dave Ross here from VSiN by the Books. Join me and my man Jensen Lewis tomorrow. We're going to react to Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, preview Game 2 of the NBA Finals, and get you ready for everything else on the sporting calendar for the weekend. Plus, going to be joined by a stacked guest list that includes Thomas Gable from the Borgata. Blue Finicaro's got us a UFC Best Bets, NBA Talk with Dexter Henry, and a Belmont Stakes preview with Matt Beer. It's VSiN by the Books, Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
And you can always tweet the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. The email here is ftm@vsin.com. We'll get to numbers and bets tonight. Game 2, Stanley Cup Final. What did you see when you tweeted that out and asked that the audience, Paulie, and your followers about what they make of the Knicks being about $1.25, $1.30 right now?
Number one, a lot of men against boys. A lot of other people expecting a sweep. Johnson was out-coached. And a lot of, wait, you'll get a better price. The Spurs will win tomorrow, save their season.
Yeah.
And expect a big response to what they've done. But it's hard to get there. I know everything you say, well, season on the line, all that, they'll respond. What happened, didn't play well. The Knicks didn't play well either. And all the long stretches where Brunson wasn't playing and where Brunson was struggling with his shot as well. And they still win the game. So I know the Spurs had the lead with 2 minutes left, but to be up 14, and certainly Wemby will play better. I don't know about Fox, though. I'm not that confident. But this is just an all-time run that they know they're going to win. They feel they're the better team. And to win 12 in a row and 11-1 ATS is incredible. Mm-hmm. They're body bagging everybody.
Plus, what are the crowds going to be back at the Garden?
Well, that's the other thing. I know. And I don't know. I think that's why Friday's so important as well. I mean, I'd like to get a competitive series that goes a ways. But if the Knicks win Friday, oh boy, because I don't know what the Spurs are walking into Monday night. $8,000 now, the get-in price?
Yeah, sure.
And that's going to be maybe a top 5 sports crowd of all time, how hungry they are for a championship.
I would also ask, if we get a short series, so that means 5 games or less. You have 2 options here. What's more likely to happen without even looking at the odds? A Knicks sweep or the Spurs come back and win 4 in a row? There's only one option there to me.
Mm-hmm.
The Spurs are not winning 4 in a row. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my words.
Why do you think a sweep is possible?
Because I thought the Knicks had no business winning that game last night.
Okay.
For several reasons that we've already laid out. And also, I think the experience is going to be a major factor. I yes. do. And my whole comparison that I brought up many, many times was the 2011 Thunder. They had home court, game 1 against the LeBron and the Heat. Mm-hmm. And after that, they lost 4 in a row. They had all those players with Harden and Westbrook and Durant with 22 years old and younger. It was a great story. And like I said, they took game 1, but they got murdered as that series went along. As I recall, LeBron and Shane Battier and everybody else popping threes and killing them in game 5.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to matter. And as we saw, the clutch stuff matters a little bit. And Brunson was phenomenal last night. How many guys do you rely on for the Spurs when it's nitty-gritty time? I don't know the answer to that, Paul. Mm-hmm. I think I would like to say Dylan Harper wasn't on court last night.
Well, Brunson.
How many open shots did Castle miss last night?
Yeah. Brunson's an incredible closer.
Oh, absolutely. He's as good as it gets.
No doubt. And those are tough shots he's making. Number 1, Shaq was swept in his first trip to the finals, and so was LeBron. Mm-hmm. And also took Jordan a while to get there too. Although he wasn't swept, but never lost the finals. He was that good. Never even went to a game 7. But I think you're right. Experience is a big deal. The youth is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And this is also, maybe we're watching a great team. Maybe still an undervalued team. Now they're saying best ever in New York, but they're going to get carried away. But you can't debate that it's the best 12-game stretch ever for what they're doing. And to play like this and what they're doing offensively and defensively. And getting help and contributions from everybody.
Yep. Now, I said my prediction was, and I wasn't super strong on this, but I had Knicks in 6. I still think that's probably the most realistic possibility. But, I mean, the sweep is clearly in play if they take the game on Friday night. And I think 6 is a wild number for the Spurs to be laying in game 2. I don't care about zigzag. I mean, if you just stack these two teams up and how they're playing right now and the matchups overall and the personnel, 6, that is an all-time baked-in job by books now. And the market, basically, because they bet it up on the Spurs to be laying against New York, in my opinion.
Well, that's what we thought, too, in the prior series. Well, of course, the Sixers are going to win Game 3 and save their season. And there was a 5-point move in that game. Sure. And then, based on OG. And then, the Cavs are going to save their season and went blown out. Mm-hmm. And it got worse in Game 4. And they were so good, both teams quit. And they ran them out by 30-plus and to get the broom out on them.
Yep. Stanley Cup, we're going to expand on that with Evan Abrams coming up. Action Network coming up in about 10 minutes. Home favorites who lose Game 1 Stanley Cup final, then home favorites in Game 2 since 2008, 70-45 straight up. That is 61%. The Canes last lost consecutive games back in January, the middle of the month, and are currently riding a 48-game streak of not losing 2 in a row. Golden Knights, they've won 7 straight. With their last loss back on May 10th, Game 4 against Anaheim, that's been a span of 24 days. What do you think tonight?
Carolina wins. They blew Game 1. They were sloppy. Came back to bite them. You have to love the fact that they scored 4 goals, though, and I think they can figure out hard here. Again, attack the glove side. And I think it'll be a little bit like the Montreal series, where they came out with a bad performance. They correct it. Not that it'll be total domination here on out, but I think they'll even this series at 1. I wouldn't be surprised if it's under 6 as well.
I think I'm playing under 6.
After all the Caesars has it again too. Goal on the first shot of the game, 18-1. That's up as well, and I'm sure it's up there. So I couldn't find it, but a goal in the first minute of the game.
Okay,
if they have that again, but I would expect them, based on what you've said and the numbers as well, that you got to go back to early January since they lost back-to-back games, and just on the all-time heater that this team has been on. Now Vegas has won 7 in a row. And they've been awesome here, but I would be concerned that Hart gave up 4 in the Game 1 loss.
Yep. More from Jonathan Davis coming up in about an hour on the show, but he wrote this at a great write-up with all the bets today at VSiN.com. The Canes also have scored the first goal of the first period in 6 consecutive games and 10 of their 14 games in the playoffs overall. Plus, Carolina scored the first goal in 12 of the 14 games. The first period over 1.5 goals has cashed in 6 straight and 9 of 11 for Carolina. And in 6 of the last 9 for the Golden Knights. A goal in the first 10 has cashed in 10 of the last 14 Carolina games. This is from OptiStats on X, what I was talking about before the break. Mitch Marner for the Golden Knights has 15 points through 9 road games this year. The only player that had more through 9 career road playoff games with a single franchise is the great one, Wayne Gretzky for the Oilers, who had 18 one year. That's come on. More and more reasons here to think that if they win this thing, Mitch Marner's going to take home the Conn Smythe. Obviously, his odds have moved. I think there's there are some parallels here between the Golden Knights and the New York Knicks, I think. Going on the road, winning Game 1. Carolina's never been here before. Obviously, the Knicks haven't as well, but they have so much more experience than San Antonio does. And the Golden Knights, just overall, being here, winning it in 2023 and making deep runs pretty much every single season. And they talked about that after, the way that they came back to win Game 1, kind of similar to what the Knicks did last night. They never doubted it, by the way. Theodore talked about this for Vegas after the game. We stayed poised. We never lost our composure. It was 2-0, could have tapped out right there because that place was on fire, didn't. Made it 2-1, and we came back to win the game because they've been there and done that. And that's the Knicks have so many, guys with a ton of experience, and the San Antonio Spurs, quite frankly, do not. And I think that plays a huge factor.
Well, they got to get the top line going too, and they were a disappointment in Game 1. The other thing is, with the high-scoring game, it opens a door for the Conn Smythe though too, especially if Carolina can win it, because can Freddie survive another game like that, win or lose? And that's quite the conundrum, too, for voters,
right? If
that would happen. So maybe this does open the door for Conn Smythe for other people. Although it is ridiculous that if it's a 5-4 game, you can't blame the goalie every time. Because certainly there were some great shots, and the Hurdle goal was awesome, but some of that was set up. Number one, the first goal was a double deflection, and another goal was a stupid giveaway by Carolina as well. So you can't put it all on the goalie just because it goes in the back of the net. Mm-hmm. But I think they'll respond, win, and we'll get a strong series here.
Yeah. Now, imagine if the game is 5-4 again, where it's chaotic the entire time.
I don't think you'll see the mistakes, though. But to what we talked about, though, with humans, though, it was surprising that it was 5-4 and they were all even strength goals.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing was accomplished on the power play.
Mm-hmm. Be wild if the Golden Knights could take this game tonight. To go up 2-0, much like they did against Colorado.
Yeah.
Came back home and finished the job.
They were good in Game 2, but it was more heart keeping them in it. And then they rallied in the third period. But that's the other thing. They're the cardiac kids.
Yeah.
these comebacks and how good they are in the third period. So if I'm Carolina, I'd like to have a comfortable lead once I get to the third period, based on what these guys have done all season, and especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like the under 6, but also, what if they explode again in the first period like we've talked about here? You want to come in live under 7.5 when it's 2-1 in the first?
I got to see how it plays out. That's a tough question. What does it look like, though, too?
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. You're going to hear about a 29-3 run and why the Knicks winning last night is such a big deal, as Evan Abrams will join the program coming up next.
Biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's the T. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
A lot of great numbers here. NBA Finals, some on the Stanley Cup Final as well as we go out to the Progressive Guest Line. Evan Abrams joins the program, does a great job. Media and Research Director for the Action Network. He also was born and raised in New York, lives there now. How about this season that he's having, full year, calendar of 2026? He went to Indiana and is a lifelong Knicks fan. Are you serious? So, Evan, thanks for the time. We appreciate that. And you're walking the streets last night as they were playing Game 1 in San Antonio. Is that correct?
Yeah, passed by Madison Square Garden about at least 45 minutes before tip, hanging out about 34th Street, 42nd Street area on West Side. It is an environment, guys, that I couldn't even really explain. I mean, I was in Vegas when they first made it, like those first early years. I've been to some different environments, like the Indiana stuff. I went to the semifinal, which was crazy. But this city on Monday night, I don't honestly know what this is going to look like, and I'm a little scared for it. But I'll be honest, I'll be there. So I will be reporting from lower base.
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
man. What did you have for a number here entering the game last night for the series overall based on the numbers? That was 29-3 historically going back.
Yeah, really crazy nonetheless. Since 1990, they were minus 210 around entering the series. Now, 29-3 is the series for teams who closed minus 200 or greater. The underdogs were the 2004 Pistons, 16 Cavs, and 19 Raptors. So obviously the Warriors on the bad end of two of those. But usually you had some injuries or something had to come into the series to kind of create what ended up happening. But pretty crazy that all those favorites didn't lose four times, but that's what the 7-game series does, guys.
I can't believe that either. And we referenced it yesterday. Excellent article you have up there as well. How about we've been here before where the dog wins Game 1. Indiana did it. How about the past going back when the dog can steal Game 1, how they haven't closed the deal?
Yeah, they don't close the deal. But the craziest thing, and I had to look this up at least 3 or 4 times, it's crazy that it hasn't happened in back-to-back years since the merger, aside from the last 2 years where we've seen it with the Pacers. Obviously not the history that the Knicks would want since the Pacers couldn't finish the job last year. But, boy, they started Game 7 with a little bit of a different feel if the injury doesn't happen. And I think Oklahoma City was a bit on their back leg. So who knows at this point. But, yeah, I mean, pretty crazy that the Knicks started the way they did. But nonetheless, my question is more this. They come in on an 11-game win streak. Maybe they shouldn't have been that big of underdogs anyway. Like, you look at the other teams who have won 11 or more in a row entering their games, they're not really underdogs at all. So it just feels like this might be mispriced.
I think that applies for Game 2. Obviously, I mean, again, the first number that I saw, I think it was FanDuel, Evan, that as the game was winding down last night, I saw 3.5, and I was like, oh, okay. Slightly different from Game 1. And then it just shot up immediately, and now sitting at 6. It feels like, man, I totally, that to me is just zigzag baked in big time.
It's ridiculous also to the fact that you don't want to compare year to year, right? Like the Thunder and the Pacers have nothing to do with these two teams. But in Game 2 last year, Thunder were 11.5. So, I mean, you're trying to get some sort of comparison for, okay, maybe we thought this team was better. I mean, they were minus 200 entering the series. They lose Game 1. They also kind of controlled the game the majority of the time. But this is what the Knicks do. So I think a lot of things are baked in here. But I agree with you. I mean, if I wasn't minorly invested in the future price in the Knicks and in New Yorker, I feel like the 6 is ridiculous. But at this point, it's hard to just keep rolling on to my investment, right? Like I'm already in it, and that's why it's a little bit difficult.
Now, having said that, though, what do you have overall for San Antonio in this kind of position after a loss bouncing back?
Yeah, they do their job. I mean, so far this postseason, when they've trailed in the series 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread, it hasn't even been that close, right? A 38-point win, you've got 21, 27-point wins. They've really done their job. And then you look more broadly, 22-6 straight up, 16-3 straight up at home in that spot. And then you look, since mid-January, 14-1 straight up as well. So they're rarely losing these back-to-back games. But to be fair, we just said that about Oklahoma City. That was the exact stat we had shown over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden, San Antonio does the job and defeats them in the streak over, and they're going home. So at this rate, it would be a little ironic for it to be flipped and the Knicks to do that job. But so far, San Antonio's done exactly what they needed to do, and now they're 6-point favorites. So.
We know it'd be a record if the Spurs win it. Where would this rank if the Knicks, from a future standpoint, win the title?
So the Knicks, from a future standpoint, is a bit of a different scenario to look at because entering the season, they weren't that high to win the title. It was entering the playoffs that everyone kind of jumped off the boat, which is interesting. So 22-1 entering the playoffs. Now, we've seen, looking at the list right now, 7 teams since 1976 area, okay, enter the playoffs at 20-1 or longer. None won the title. 1 went to 7 games. That was the Pacers last year. So back-to-back years, we're seeing Pacers were 80-1. Bit of a different boat. We're talking the Knicks at 22-1, but still, right now, taking game 1, they would be doing something. The interesting thing is they both would, right? Spurs enter the year at 66-1. We've never seen that type of champion before. 66-1 also feels now patently ridiculous with all those top picks and Wemby.
Right.
But the Knicks, nobody believed 22-1 entering the playoffs. So a fun, I guess, long shot storyline at this point.
That's a great point because you go back, they wanted Mike Brown fired, and the sky was falling when they were down 2-1 to Atlanta. So how about the bettor who, after they eliminated Atlanta, he took 19-1 at DraftKings. It pays $980,000. The cash out is $500,000. What would you do if you were in his shoes?
Tough one. I mean, right now, I don't believe, like, I like the Knicks to win the series. I liked it beforehand. And right now, the price in game 2, it just feels ridiculous. Like, what you would say is the Knicks kind of have the value, but that's not what the bettor wants to hear. The bettor needs some other way to get out of this from San Antonio. I think you need to stay pat because I do think there is an option here for the Knicks to take this game. Maybe you try to play something live. Like if the Knicks start playing well, maybe you get a plus number on San Antonio in game 2. You can start working the other way. But to me, he's in a great spot. Sit back, have a few drinks, maybe some waters if he's not into that, and watch game 2.
Let's follow the money. There you go. On VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, our guest, Evan Abrams, does a great job for Action Network. Also, what numbers do you have after the Knicks come back and win like they did last night, down by 14 in the third quarter? How do they perform after that?
Yeah, it's interesting. So obviously we've talked a lot about the fact that the Knicks have done this multiple times. So I wanted to look at how teams have done just in general off this scenario. So since 2002, teams with that exact rest profile. So basically, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. You're talking about when they're coming back off of a comeback. Yeah, not talking about rest. So
well, you can answer both of them.
Comeback factor. Oh, got it. All right. So Knicks 10-point deficit erased. They are 13-4 straight up, 11-6 against the spread following game, which honestly incredible because most people will be rolling the other side of this. But the Knicks, no letdown. And I think the thing you really like to hear recently, since January 1, 9-1 straight up, 8-2 against the spread. And usually you look at other teams in this scenario, doesn't usually work out as well. So Knicks a little bit of an outlier.
You wanted to go down the path of Knicks with rest overall. Go ahead.
Yeah, I found this one really, really intriguing. So basically all the scenarios we're talking about rest in game 1, I kind of felt like it was a little overblown. Like you even had 3-4 days for the Spurs, and the Knicks came out pretty cold. Spurs were on top. So I looked into this. Since 2002, teams with the exact rest profile entering a playoff series, 9 or more days versus 4 or fewer on the other side. Just 6-4 straight up, 4-6 ATS in the next game after winning the opener. So they did their job. The stat worked out. How did it work in game 2? It's basically a toss-up in the air. More importantly, what I thought was interesting, the teams that were dogs, 0-2 straight up, 0-2 against the spread, lost really badly in that game. So interesting nonetheless, but to me, it's more about the profiles of the teams. Like going back and looking at these other scenarios and other series, it's a little noisy. It's very, very small samples. I just think this number at 6 is a little absurd.
Yeah.
Sure. Agree. Excellent article, my friend. Good to catch up with you. We'll see you when you're coming out. See you when you come out for the World Cup. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hopefully I survive Friday and then Monday. We'll see how it goes.
Good luck. Be safe.
Well,
last week somebody sold.
Hopefully no more sirens, but that's That's very unlikely.
Last week somebody sold their tickets for $11,000. Now the get-in price for Game 3 is $8,000, and somebody had 2 good seats near the floor and made $75K profit on each. I got that text last night, too.
Well, so where do the tickets go if they win Game 2?
Oh, boy.
And you can watch
Game 4. What?
Game 4 in a sweep to close out?
Well, they auctioned off. You can bid on 2 celebrity seats, whatever they call them, courtside seats, right? It's $200,000 right now. and it closes Sunday. So if they win Friday, what Game 4 would go for?
It was like a bargain.
It would. That's right. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to sit in the nosebleeds. It's like $8,000. Think about that. Championship season's here. VSiN Pro can help you bet it smarter. Limited time. Lock in the early bird pricing on the football special, just $175. The guide comes out June 22nd. Futures, win totals, upcoming season. Every best bet, every host, every guest. Stanley Cup, NBA Finals, VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now.
Win, lose next. Yet another reason to expect some negative regression from this very popular NFL team. Find out who that is on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All Knicks all the time, 12 wins in a row, 11 by double digits, 11-1 ATS, 7 in a row on the road, plus 850 in play. First finals win since June of 1999. And we're here for more. Opening tip, Knicks plus 450 to win it. Both teams score in the first minute, plus 150. 5+ points in the first minute, plus 180. First score, Brunson 6-1. Method of first basket, Brunson 3-pointer, 35-1. Luke's friend had that. Knicks to win the tip, Brunson first basket of 3. It's a hell of a day already in 30 seconds. That was great. Hart most rebounds, 6-1. Hart most assists, plus 850. Champagny most threes, plus 450. 5+ was plus 550. Hart was the first player ever in a finals game to lead in assists, rebounds, and steals. 4+ steals was 14-1. 15+ rebounds was 15-1. Champagny to have a double-double was 14-1. Vassell 9+ boards, 12-1. McBride 4+ assists was 11-1. Freeman 12-1. Lofton 11-1 for some home runs last night. There's been some big numbers cash in the last few nights with home runs. And the Houston Astros were 35-1 for most runs scored last night.
Oh, because Skeens going.
Dead heat, yes. And they erupted. More on that coming up. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Years ago, we met Bob from New Hampshire, and he said, I put the feeder out. You never know what I walk into in the backyard, and here he is. He's emailed at ftm@vsin.com, where he right on his deck, where you have the bear hanging out, and he's sending pictures, and that is a great video, just right there, where he's coming in. I like where that's California, where they just jump in the pool. But look how close he is right there, hanging out. And apparently Bob says it's a regular occurrence.
Wants to be buddies.
Yeah, right.
It's a great-looking deck, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
I like that.
But coming up, you never know what you're walking into in the backyard there. Excellent. I did some, this was on Instagram, and there's a story behind this as well. And again, this is the skinny building. This is a question for Paul Bovey, but the skinny building in Manhattan, people are outraged because it blocks the view. Number one, we're looking at a condo that goes for $150 million. And the one we showed the other day was $50 million. But some people are perturbed because, what a view that is. But because they built this building, you can't see Empire State Building, and obstructs the view with some of the stuff. And it only holds 21 units. That's it. The get-in price is $7.5 million. The architect, they did it for $280 million. There's the backstory there as well. But that is, it just, what a weird-looking building, though, right? How skinny it is. And it holds only 21 units. But you're talking about anywhere from 15 million to 150 million, where, like, Axelrod would hang out in billions. Oh,
I can see how people are mad about blocking the view.
Yeah, sure.
That happens all the time. I've heard some HOA horror stories.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing like this, obviously, but yeah, no doubt.
Good. Okay, lose some. Corbin, 0-12 last 13 against the Braves. Good job with the team total as well, as they were great. Also, the fan last night, along with his buddy, banned for life from the NBA, who wanted to take a selfie. They ran out there to try to get a piece of Wembanyama.
What are we doing here?
Wow, the possession's going on, of all things, too. Absolutely. And also lose some, Adam Silver. Take your balls out of your wife's purse. You're the commissioner of the league. They brought in Michael Jordan, and Silver was in the meeting as well, and they still couldn't come to a resolution with the Dolan Oakley thing. Yeah, they couldn't work it out. Oh, like, wow. He's still banned. You're the commissioner of the league. Just tell Dolan what to do. Come on. And they even brought in Jordan, who's buddies with Oakley, and they still couldn't work it out.
Is that right?
Going back. How long ago did that happen? Isn't that like 5 years ago,
oh, my
too?
God, it has to be at least that long, yeah.
Yeah, and a sick beat. The Pirates blew a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 8th, and the Astros win 11-9. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all, winning for 15 straight years. All of it documented. Logs posted publicly. SharpPlays.com. When they moves, the books take notice. Advanced AI, trusted insider intel, respected, watched, and feared. The daily Mr. Poison tweets. Start winning with them. SharpPlays.com, reaching out to over 500 sources and bettors worldwide across all sports and sent out in real time to subscribers. Jeff and the crew are phenomenal. SharpPlays.com. Knicks, points in the paint last night, 50. Spurs 9-1 when they hold the opponent to 40, though. That's too much. Also, right church, wrong pew. I like the over because I thought the Knicks were going to come out and go crazy with the tempo, and they did. And it's like Mike Breen had the information as well because he said like the first 2 minutes of the game, Knicks want to play fast. Knicks want to play fast. That was too fast, though. And I thought Kenny Smith had a good line at the half that it helps out the younger guys with San Antonio, where if you're playing fast, they rely on instincts and athleticism, as opposed to when you slow it down, that's when you can run your offense, run your sets, and that's when you can get the young guys caught up in the creative stuff that you do. I found that interesting. I know Brian Mahoney also said the Knicks were playing too fast and too crazy early on.
Well, and Books obviously made an adjustment with a total now in Game 2 finals. This is from Mackinnon, VSiN.com. Now 30, 13-1 under, 70% over the last 44 games. Talked about that yesterday, brought it up, and it stayed under comfortably, by the way. What do you make of the adjustment, Paulie, where it's at right now? You want to go over? Jonathan Von Tobel, when he was leaving Money Moves today, and we were coming in to do the show, he said, I'm going over the next game.
They did. Both teams did shoot poorly and struggle from three.
Yeah, I thought
so that should correct itself, especially when they're going to shoot so many threes as well.
Spurs had a lot of open looks.
Yeah.
I thought Castle stunk last night.
Yeah.
But
and Wemby just said, I was bad. I'll get better Friday. I'm not too concerned about it. Pop called him out too. So I expect him to respond tomorrow. I think you have to come back. If they put up 3.5, there's 4.5 at Caesars. 3.5 is key. I would go over 3.5 again with Cat assists. He had 4 early in the third quarter, and then it died. And I think you have to play Josh Hart points under again. I think 12 is too high. He didn't take that many shots.
No, he did
not. I also think, look, now there was foul trouble there too. But I think he knows his role and the impact that guy can make, assists, rebounds, and steals on the defensive end. I think it's more just let the other guys shoot. And
it might be.
Plus, I got Wemby on me anyways.
Play the assist and rebound prop with him potentially.
Yeah, right. And
also,
ladder it.
Last 6 days in Major League Baseball, not including today, overs 66%. The Giants are still playing the Brewers right now, 12-5 last check. That game flying over. Giants are suddenly warming up against the Milwaukee Brewers. Logan Webb was awesome yesterday in that spot. And what was your reaction to pay off the tease here, Caleb Williams being on the cover of Madden? This used to be a thing where, I mean, forget about it. It was the curse was real. It happened immediately, early and often back in the early 2000s. Dante Culpepper, the first guy.
Yeah, it was injury related.
Yeah, it was. And then Michael Vick the next year.
Yeah.
Gets hurt, only played like in 4 games. But in recent years, I mean, it's fun to talk about, but
Dante Culpepper was on the cover.
25 years ago now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. After he played so well in his second season, I believe, or third season.
You could throw to Moss. Come on.
And so the Bears are a team that we're going to expect regression from this year anyway, Paul. How does a team possibly win as many games like they did last year, final minutes when they were down and trailing and completely out of these games?
It's a brutal division.
Yep.
You're right with how they set a record for all the wins when trailing late. It was a great story, but I can't put anything past Ben Johnson though.
That's the thing is that
they were so poorly coached with Eberflus and how bad it was the prior year and how he came in and made it, because people were all over Williams. Boss, terrible pick. What are you doing? Outrageous. And how it looked last year, and the fact that they almost went to the NFC title game.
Yeah, that's the one thing that would be like, very difficult schedule. They get a break with the rest advantages throughout the year.
That's big, yeah.
It is, but it's like it's Ben Johnson and Caleb, and I fully trust that guy, man.
Lions will be better. Easy schedules, you pointed out. Vikings will be better. I mean, a big deal with Murray coming in.
Yep.
And the Packers are going to be a force too. Although that was a big overpay on what they gave Watson.
I totally agree. Way too much money there.
Outrageous contract.
So we talked to Evan Abrams in the previous segment here. Again, born in New York, lifelong Knicks fan, went to Indiana. So how is his 2026 going? If you, Luke, put this together, if you parlayed Indiana along with the Knicks to win championships this year, $100 would have paid about $101,000.
Man.
How do you like that?
He's living right, no doubt. You might be right too. I mean, it's going to be ugly in that city if they win the title.
Yeah, I don't want to
just see how. Remember, it's like Evan said. It's 143 combined seasons without a championship for New York.
I'll give you another thing from Josh Hart as he joined Dennis